don't want to try and justify myself anymore, because I mean it's my opinion anyway. So hey, how's it going, and welcome to Whisky Wins with me, Stuart, and also Jasper's here. So today we've got something a little different. It's a whisky that was only available to people who were part of the Daftmill Unofficial fans Facebook page. So not a lot of people will have this bottle. I think there'll be a good amount of people that have it, but not a lot of people were able to buy this. It was pretty exclusive, which Daftmill generally is. But it's a great idea from the admins of the page, and a great idea from Berry Bros and Daftmill to release this. I do believe this is probably the last of its kind. I don't think, I heard somewhere that BB&R are getting rid of doing special releases for pubs, for Facebook, and for whatever else, because there's the Ralphie one, there's the Series In that was bottled exclusively for them. I think BB&R have decided they're done with that. But anyway, this was a great idea, a great concept. The Daftmill page is all about opening your bottles. It's all about opening Daftmills, people enjoying them, sharing them together. I've had a few drams out of this. I've shared it with Stevie, I believe. I've not shared it with anyone else. That I will definitely get round to that, to people who haven't had it. But yeah, I thought I'd review it, get down to it, so that other people could experience it. It's a little different from normal Daftmills. It's a cask strength. It's a vatting of a cask 46, 47, 50, 51, 56, and it's bottled in 2021, distilled in 2010. So 10 to 11 year old, probably on the 10-year-old side. It's 59.5% ABV, and I believe it was £100 when it came out, which is Daftmill prices. The nose on this one is not as good as the noses from other Daftmills. I have got water, and I am going to add water just to see how that compares. But the nose isn't as aromatic, as perfumey, as fragrant as the other Daftmills. And the nose is one of my biggest attractions to Daftmill. Yeah, it feels restrained in the nose. It feels like it needs something to bring it out, which is possibly the water. But we'll see what it's like without the water first. There's just glimpses, sightings of the Daftmill character trying to come through, but it's just masked by this. It's almost like, I've said it before, when I put my head into the mash tun. Was it the mash tun, or was it the washback? Put my head into the washback, and you got that fragrant beery smell of the wort or whatever it is. But then you get like a CO2 restriction, asphyxiation, whatever, because it's the byproduct of that. The CO2 just asphyxiates you, and you can kind of not smell anything other than, it's a weird smell. It's weird to describe unless you've experienced it. And that's what this is like. It's like you've just put your head into that. It's almost kind of fizzy. It's like a fizzy smell. I don't know what a fizzy smell is. But there is, like I said, there's little glimpses of kind of Parma Violet coming through. But it's really hard to get anything on the nose. We'll go to the palate and see what we'll get in the palate. It's basically like normal Daftmill with a huge kick. I had the Series In Daftmill, and I'm pretty sure that was cask strength. That was one of my favourite Daftmills. I've had other Daftmills that are cask strength, but this doesn't perform the same as them. It's slightly different. This is a little nutty, a little spicy. Yeah, the ABV is powerful. I am going to have to add water because I feel like this is too much without water, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make it a bad whiskey. If anything, it makes it a better whiskey because you can dull it down or dilute it to your palate. So we'll add some water because I feel like I basically had no tasting notes. So we'll go with Ralphie's teaspoon. So we'll try a little teaspoon first, and then I might add more, just depending. This is probably going to be a long video. I want to say like ham. I've never had ham on Daftmill. I'll add a little bit more, and we'll keep going with this. I'm not sure if there's been any reviews on this yet. If anybody's actually, I know a lot of people on Facebook have opened theirs, but I'm not sure if anybody's done a full review. That's better. You're starting to get the Daftmill aromas come through now. There's still like a varnish. Yeah, there's like a varnished table, varnished. It reminds me of being in craft and design in high school. It's like a woodworking school, what do you call it, lesson. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So that took me 3 teaspoons of water to just bring it out to where I want it. So I'm getting cherry, what are they called? Cherry, I'm terrible. Cherry, it's like vitamins, like a multivitamin or a vitamin C, but it's like a cherry flavour. It's that kind of powdery cherry. What else would it? Almost sherbet, but not lemon. A cherry sherbet or something. Cherry powdered tablet or vitamin or something like that. I'm trying to think if there's actually any sweets. Similar to Parma Violet, the way it's that kind of powdery, dissolves, but it's more cherry. If you didn't know, there's a little bit of dampness. Yeah, like damp grass. More perfume coming through now, more aromatic. The nose is just, yeah, it's a lot better with that water. I think there's some tablet there, a sweetness, a Scottish confectionery tablet. There's a sweetness there, a nice. There's an almost black bag smell, but it's very subtle. It's the first time you take a black bag off the roll and you separate it, you open it up, you get some air into it. There's that smell there, which I've never had in a Daftmill before, and I've had in some whiskies, I suppose, a kind of rubber smell, but this is specifically that black bag smell. Yeah, that real sweet cherry element and the tablet, the black bag, it's a lovely nose. It's a lovely nose with the water. Still powerful though. There's a little bit of lemon, a little bit of citrus. There's a lot going on in this for sure. It's a high ABV whiskey, a lot of elements. It's a several casks, a vat of casks. I believe they're all bourbon. So there is a lot to kind of dissect here. But yeah, the palate. Yeah, just break everything, Jasper. The palate's still quite restrained. Not as restrained as it was, but it's still restrained. There's digestive biscuit. Yeah, kind of malty, digestive, barley, cereal. There's not a lot of fruit. There's not really any fruit there at all. There's possibly some Greek yogurt, or I'm trying to think of something that's not as powerful in taste, like maybe like cottage cheese, because I don't think cottage cheese is very cheesy and it's not got a lot of flavour to it unless you put like pineapple or something in it. So maybe something like that, like cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, something that isn't overly tasty or overly flavoursome. It's not got a lot of flavour about it, but it's that kind of, it's still got a little bit of flavour, a little bit of something. So yeah, Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, Jesus. What else have we got on the palate? Yeah, it's hard to get away from the cereal elements. It's still got a bit of a kick, and that was 3 teaspoons, but it's still got a little bit of a kick. I want to say there's something, I feel like there's a banana or something like that. Maybe I want to say banana or banana skin or something. It just doesn't seem very, like I said, flavoursome with the palate. They're just almost there. They're not really bold. It's, like I've said previously, a kind of glimpse of it. It's just not fleeting, but it's just there. You can't really grasp it. You can't really hold it. That's how I would describe it. The finish is still long. There's that hay, cereal, barley, dried grass, whatever. That's continuing on. The cereals are still there. The digestives, the maltiness. It's quite a malty whiskey. See what else we can get in the finish. Right. A little licorice in the finish. Maybe one of the more dominant flavours coming through. Now a little bit bold. But yeah, a little bit of licorice. And I think that's probably it. Licorice, kind of, fragranty, perfumey from the nose coming through to the finish. But that's probably it. So, we'll get down to rating this whiskey. 3 ways I rate. Do I think it's worth it? Would I buy it again? And would I recommend it? So we'll start with the easy one. I would recommend trying this. It's different from the last review of Daftmill. I said the same pretty much. It's different from Daftmill. It's different from what I expect from Daftmill, because it's cask strength and it's just a little different, but it's still nice and I've still enjoyed it. Would I buy it again? Well, that's easy to answer because I can't buy it again unless I went to auction. I don't think many have went to auction, luckily enough, touch wood. But I don't think I would buy it again either. So even if I had the opportunity to buy it again, I wouldn't buy it again. Do I think it's worth it? The hardest thing to determine with Daftmills is the quality or the value and quality comparison, trying to decide whether Daftmill is worth it. It's exclusive, it's rare, it's unique, it's small batches. We've said all this before. It's supposed to be for drinkers. You're supposed to open it. It's expensive for what it is. It's only 10, possibly 11-year-old. It is cask strength, £100. I would say other whiskies, it's not worth it. I mean, I've had Springbank 10-year-old local barley be around about that price, and I've said that's worth it. So it's all about the whiskey, the distillery, and the quality that you're getting. And I would have to say that this is probably, it's so hard. I'd recommend it. I wouldn't buy it again, but I do think the value's there. I think someone else will enjoy this more than me. I don't think I've enjoyed it enough. Well, then I can't say it's worth it, can I? At the moment, I haven't enjoyed this as much as other Daftmills. So, I'm going to have to say, again, my last Daftmill was a whiskey bin, and this is shocking. I'm supposed to be a fanboy of them. But at the moment, maybe this will open up. I've had the cork off for a couple weeks. I've let it sit for a couple weeks, air out a little bit, and it has opened up. It's good that I can add water. It's good that I can put it to my own palate. I just try to decide whether or not it's worth it. I am enjoying it. I can't really deny that. It's a nice whiskey. I'm on the fence with this one as well. I think it's a whiskey. This is terrible. I should just decide what it is. Yeah, I think it's a whiskey bin. I think I'm going to have to be true to myself and be honest. I think it's going to have to be a whiskey bin. It's good. I I think it's £80 worth, maybe a little bit cheaper. It is cask strength, it is no chill filtered, no added colour, and you're getting a lot of good stuff on there. But it's just not, it's not as good as the kind of 46% ABV ones, the other ones that I've had. It's not as, yeah, you're getting a different experience because you get to add water in that and put it to your own palate, but it's just a little too much ABV, I think. It's just 59.5. I mean, I've had a 60% Daftmill and it was fine, but this just feels a little too much at the moment. It's still good with the water, the addition of water, and it does change the whiskey a little. But I think, yeah, I don't want to dig myself a hole. I'm grateful that I was given the opportunity to buy one. I'm grateful to the guys for releasing it, their kind of ethos behind releasing it. But it's just not, it's not my favourite. That's probably what I would say. It's a whiskey bin because it's not my favourite, and because me as a Daftmill fan expects so much more. I just basically expect the world of it. So maybe that's why. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. I don't want to try and justify myself anymore because, I mean, it's my opinion anyway. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart, he's been Jasper, this has been Whisky Wins. I'll see you later.